Welcome to Sales Mastery on the amazing Women of Power radio station. I am your host, Anna Scheller, and it is my mission to equip you with the tools, with the mindset, with the strategies, but most of all, with the encouragement that you need in order to master sales. Mastery is a journey. Mastery is not a one-time and you're done deal. It is a process of trying, of practicing, of not making the mark, getting up, and moving again. You can learn more about me by going to my website at annascheller.com. That's Anna with two N's, Scheller, SCHELLER.com. There you can read my blogs, you can learn more about me. More importantly, if there's an area of sales that you really want to hone in on, you really feel that you're challenged and you know you can do better, but you're just not sure how, I want you to go ahead, click that link in the top and book a free consult with me. In the consult, we go over what's going well, what you'd like to change, and how I might be able to help you if you're open to moving forward with me. So go ahead, click that free book a consult in the corner. Let me know how I can be of service to you today. Well, today we are looking at the third episode in a time mastery series, Sales Mastery, Time Mastery, because it's so important for us to be able to become masters of our time. In the first episode, we talked about the hindrances that keep us from mastering time. Mostly it's our own perceptions and our own thoughts about time that keep us from moving forward with the productivity that we're looking for. Now, that being said, productivity is more than just squeezing in as much activity as I possibly can in a day. And so last week, we talked quite extensively about personality types, people who really tend to overdo, to overcommit. And there are some certain personality types that tend to be more prone to it than others. We also talked about the cost of distraction. Distraction can cost up to 23 minutes. Distraction can cost up to 23 minutes of time. And so if you have 10 distractions, that's 230 minutes. Divide that by 6, you've got almost 60, you've got almost 4 hours of time that's unproductive, that could be used elsewhere. Now, the distractions, they can be very legitimate things. They just have to be managed outside of your work time. Then we also talked about a 3-step process to keep in mind so that you can move forward with your work. And what I'm going to ask you to do is join my Facebook group and find out more about those things, because I'll be putting those different hints in my Facebook group, The Way of Sales Mastery. But today we are going to discuss the necessary task. Distractions are those unnecessary things, those things that keep us from being productive and really are not part of the process we have to take care of our customers and to meet new people. And so this week we're going to be talking about those necessary tasks, how to manage those better, and also we're going to talk about how do you leverage your time. Leverage is a powerful, powerful concept and tool. So we're going to dive deep in a couple of ideas that could help you to become better at getting more accomplished in less time. Wouldn't that be amazing? That's why we're on the amazing Women of Power radio station. So let's talk about what some of those necessary tasks are. Some of those necessary tasks include things like paperwork, planning. Yeah, we have to plan. We're going to talk more about planning when we get into leveraging, because planning is a form of leverage, but it still has to have a piece on our calendar. Evaluation, surveying our customers, as well as communication. Now, if you're curious how I came up with this, I'd love to say that I was amazing and came up with this, but actually, I learned them from a book by Todd Duncan, who I'm hoping to get on the show, called Time Traps, and you can get this book on Amazon. And you can check my website, because we'll see if we can't get that up on the website for you. But Time Traps He talks extensively about some of these ideas. I'm only going to talk about a couple of them, the ones that really tend to affect salespeople and business owners the most. So let's talk a lot about paperwork. Paperwork is probably one of the banes of being a salesperson. We like to go out there, we like to make the connections, we love to create the relationships, we love talking to people once we get out there and do it. But when we forget to write down and track our activity, we lose sight of what's happening. So paperwork can be things like writing up the contracts. Okay, that can be very exciting. But then it could be also the things like, you know, sending out the emails. And we'll talk about that here a little later when we talk about communication. That is a necessary task. And sometimes that's not a task that necessarily works directly to create more revenue, but it's still important because we have to communicate with team members and so on. But let's get back to the paperwork. Files need to be created. We have to work in a CRM. Now, if you're not familiar with a CRM is a customer relationship management system. I happen to use HubSpot. HubSpot is one that's free for smaller businesses. It has amazing tools that will help you track emails. If you're consistent about logging your calls, you can put them in there as well, track notes, so that anybody on your team, whether you're doing this by yourself or you have a team of people you're working with, they can go into the file labeled for a particular contact and they can see everything that you've done. But you have to be consistent about it. There can be regular tasks that also are necessary for the movement of your business forward, especially if you're a business owner. You have to do things like pay taxes. You have to do things like pay insurance or make sure that the bills get paid on time. Those are all tasks that have to be scheduled and have to be attended to, or quickly your business will run ahead of you or behind you and you'll be in trouble. Now, I love to talk about time blocking. This is a concept that really can be very beneficial for everybody in sales. Before I jump onto that, if you're listening, that's wonderful. If you're watching the video on YouTube, which there'll be a video of this on YouTube, I keep, oh, this is not the right book. Let's see, where's my book? I keep a daily book. I keep a notebook. See, it says daily book. And in my notebook, I list the day. I list any appointments that I have coming up so that I make sure I plan for those appointments. I also write down everything that's happened in that day so that when it's time for me to do my paperwork, when it's time for me to go into my CRM, then I am prepared. I have notes of everything that's happening so that I know what's going on. And it also forces me to not have to pull out my notebook and try to find where everything is because I'm organizing. And organization is a great form of time leverage. So I would recommend, my recommendation is that you have a daily book where you're tracking all of your appointments and your activity. You write down what's going on, and then when you make that time to do your paperwork, when you make that time to go into your CRM, then you have a central place to go to take your notes and put them in the places to organize. Now, organization is a really critical part of paperwork because if we're not organized, of course, we go to look for something and we can't find it because it's not there. It's not where we remember putting it. So paperwork is also about organization, which is a great form of time leverage. You want to be able to go to the file. You want to be able to go to the CRM. And I personally love the CRM because I know exactly where to go to get information on my customer because I don't depend on myself to remember everything. Even if you have a really good memory, it is so freeing to get that information onto a software. If you're not using a CRM that's computer-based, then I would recommend that you have somewhere where you're tracking every interaction that you have with a customer. Now, I personally believe in CRMs because they take a lot of the memory work out. For example, HubSpot can be can be linked to your email carrier or your email platform. And so every time, as long as make sure you're logged into your HubSpot account, every time you send out an email, it gets registered to that email address. And so you don't have to go back in and make those annotations, because the minute that email goes out, that gets put into the CRM. It's a beautiful, beautiful system. I'm not a HubSpot promoter, but I really do believe in what HubSpot does to help salespeople grow their businesses. Now, we want to consolidate our work to specific times of the day. According to Todd Duncan of Time Traps, Todd says that we should spend about 30 minutes every 2 hours working on paperwork. Now, the key is you have to limit that time. You really have to limit the paperwork time to that time. Otherwise, paperwork can start to eat into your prospecting. Now, the nice thing about it is that when you spend time on paperwork, then you're creating those paper trails, you're creating the files, you're creating the place where you can get information in a simple and easy way to find it. And it also can help take a break from some of the hard work of prospecting. Jeb Blount, who has written, or Jeb Blunt, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Jeb, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Let's hope we can get him. I've tried to get him on Sales Mastery, so I'm working on getting him there. But Jeb, in his book, Fanatical Prospecting, and I thoroughly believe in prospecting. You will find me on the phone every single day because I want to practice what I preach. But Jeb says there is no easy button in sales. Prospecting is hard, emotionally draining work, and it is the price that you pay to earn a high income. So I'm not here to talk so much about prospecting, but what I can tell you is that when you're prospecting, it can be very emotionally draining. And so you can use paperwork, just 30 minutes every couple of hours, to be able to take a break, to consolidate what your work is, so that you have a great idea of how to move forward. So that's paperwork. Now, when it comes to planning, again, I'm going to rely on Jeb to help me with this one again. He says if you don't have a plan, you become part of someone else's plan. Now, you can either control your life or someone else will use it to enhance theirs. It's your choice. Let me say that again. If you don't have a plan, you will become part of someone else's plan. Can you think of a time when that happened, where you ended up being redirected instead of following what you wanted to do because you didn't have a plan, because you didn't have steps in mind or next actions you were going to take? You ended up working on somebody else's project and not moving forward with your own business? I have to confess, I've done that. I've done that. So on the one hand, we need to take time to build a master plan. This is a form of leverage, which we're going to get into here shortly. But Napoleon Hill says to create a definite plan for carrying out desire and to begin at once, whether or not you're ready to put your plan into action. So what we tend to do is we tend to spend a lot of time on planning, and then we're getting ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. And so the effective salesperson, the effective business owner, spends time once a year creating their plan. And then every day they look at the plan and they spend a few minutes looking at how they're going to execute the plan. See, too much planning, I think, is a stall tactic. It really is. It's a form of procrastination. And what happens is when we are not moving forward with a plan, fear begins to grip our hearts. And when fear grips our hearts, we tend to be in inaction, which defeats the whole purpose. So planning has to be part of your day, but limited so that it helps to give you direction so you can step out, just like Napoleon Hill said, that whether you're ready or not, you put your plan into action. But it still needs to be, you still need to look at it, you still need to make time for it. Now, what I do at the end of the day, and this may work for you or the beginning of the day, but at the end of the day, before I leave my office, I write down the names of people I want to contact. I write down any important steps that have to be taken care of, any emails I need to make sure get sent out the next day. I make notes in my, you got it, my daily book, I do that in my daily book, and then I can go home and I can rest because I know that the things that I know have to be done and are important are going to get done. So I would recommend you spend no more than 15 minutes a day doing that to help you move forward. And part of that is going to be evaluating to make sure that those activities are the things you're doing that are going to move you forward towards your goal. So you take a few minutes to evaluate, prioritize, get those things in place. Now, let's talk quickly about surveys and evaluations. Surveys and evaluations are important. I spoke about evaluating your activity every day. My daughter, Stephanie, she's brilliant. And Stephanie has on her calendar every single day what she calls EOD. EOD, end of day. So that's her time to sit down and evaluate, just as I spoke a little earlier. That's her time to evaluate how effective she's being and if she's still staying on track, because we can often get sidetracked during our day. So she uses that time to help refocus her activity and make sure that the things she's doing are going to move her needle the right direction. Surveying. Now, we want to make sure that we are getting feedback from our customers. This shouldn't take too long, so we want to make sure that we're providing the service that the customers are expecting. Now, do we want to do that before we close the sale or after? I'll let you make that decision. For me, I often do it after the sale, but it's not a bad idea to make sure in the sales process that you're continuing to meet your customers' needs. So think about surveying your customers beforehand. It could be a paper survey. It could be just a couple of questions that you ask. But think about finding out what your customers like, because see, this can help you to make sure you're on the right track to meeting your customers' needs. You want to make some time for that when you're working with a customer. Now, to me, that would be something that would be one of the tasks that I would be working on to incorporate in my sales process, right? So think about that. It's just a suggestion, but I'm sure that it could provide you some very valuable information to move you forward with your business. Communication. Oh, there's just so much to talk about in this particular episode. But communication that includes email, it includes phone calls. Now, I'm not going to tell you how you should or shouldn't do things. One tactic that is recommended, and you have to decide based on your industry whether this is a good tactic for you. But there are people who will limit the times that they're going to reach out to their customers. So they leave emails or voicemails that say, "Thank you for calling. I return phone calls between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. Please leave your name and telephone number, and I will get back to you at that time." That is a perfectly legitimate way to let people know that you will get back to them when they can expect you to get back to them, and they know it helps them to know that you care. But you have to follow through and do that. Other people feel that they have to answer the phone every time somebody calls them. Now, if you're not very busy, you may be able to do that. What you want to do is you want to make sure that your customers are respectful of your time as well as you being respectful of their time. So really consider how you want to do this. And if you want some help with it, I'd recommend that you go ahead and click that button for a free consult. We can talk about what works best for your customers. Now, what I do is when I'm off duty, I let the phone go to voicemail, and then I will listen to the voicemail, usually within 24 hours, usually within an hour, to make sure that I'm not missing something important that needs to be attended to. My business, we also have an emergency line. So when the emergency line goes off, I do answer that phone because that's what it's for. But that may or may not be appropriate for your business. But think about, especially emails too, turn off your email when you're working. And just turn it on at specific times so that you block out those times to answer the emails that are coming in. So those are just a couple of ideas in terms of handling those necessary tasks that are so, so important for your business. Now, I want to talk very, very quickly about leveraging your time. Leveraging your time. So planning, we talked about earlier, planning is really important because it saves you the inconvenience of trying to figure out what you want to do. Planning also helps you, they say that 15 minutes of planning will save you an hour of time because you're focused, because you know what needs to be done next and you're not trying to figure out what's going on. And it's much less likely you're going to get sidetracked by someone or something else, right? Now, it's really important to get those tasks out of your head. Some people say, well, I have a mind like a steel trap. Well, I'm going to tell you, the Daily Book is a great place. It's an absolutely phenomenal place for you to write down everything. Let me see if I have it here. I like to do a mind map to get things out of my head before I even put them in my Daily Book. So this is a mind map. It looks kind of complicated, right? But this mind map here, what it does is it helps me to break down my two businesses into the activities I want and the things I have to take care of based on groupings. And so that really helps me to see where I want to go and what I want to do. And then I use another color to point me in the directions that I want to go for my businesses, right? So planning is really important. Getting things out of your head is important. Scheduling tasks is also very important. So when I know I have a lot to do in a week, I will schedule those tasks into my week. And here's what that does for me. One, it helps me not to be constantly concerned that I'm not going to get to something that I should, because that tendency has helps people or causes people to want to put too much into their schedule. We don't want to do that, right? We're trying to get away from that. The other thing, too, is it can help you guard those important tasks. You know that you're going to be doing this task. Let's say you're going to be working on a customer's file from 10 to 11 tomorrow because you have some time for that. Then when from 10 to 11, you don't let other things interfere because you know you set aside that time just for that task. It's so important that you schedule because this will help you free up your mind and leverage your time. I can't go into outsourcing very much, but as you're going through your day, note those things that are better in somebody else's skill set that could help you. And when you have the resources, then you can hire someone to help you with those things. I'm generally not a person that likes to file stuff. But I have a great helper. I have an office manager. She loves to track things. So that's her forte, that's her strength, and I enjoy letting her do that because that's not something I enjoy doing. And so I packed a lot of information into this episode. There's just so much. What I want to encourage you to do is join the Facebook group, Sales Mastery Facebook group. We're going to be doing some free trainings in there, kind of taking these concepts and going a little deeper. You're really going to want to take a look at how you're spending your time, because if you want to be more productive, if you want to get more done, then the way to do it is you got to schedule your time. You have to manage yourself in your time in order to accomplish the goals that you want. You will be amazed at how one or two of these tools will help you to spend less time at work and make more money in sales. So I want to thank you for joining me today on Sales Mastery. It's been wonderful having you. Thank you so much. Again, why don't you jump over to my Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Sales Mastery. Take a look at that group. Join me there. We'll be going deeper on some of these concepts in the future, and you're going to love what you see there. Thanks so much. Make it a great day. You can join me every single Thursday morning, 10:30 Central Standard Time in the morning on the amazing Women of Power radio station. Make it a great day.